Moving into my new apartment was supposed to be a fresh start, a chance to begin anew. The rent was affordable and the location seemed perfect. But as I settled in, an unsettling presence began to creep into the corners of my mind. At first, it was just small, odd occurrences. My favorite mug vanished from the kitchen, only to reappear days later in the bathroom sink. I dismissed it, convincing myself I was just being forgetful. Soon after, my laptop would inexplicably shut down, and I'd find files altered or deleted. I chalked it up to a glitch, but the feeling of being watched grew increasingly intense. One night, I awoke to the eerie sound of breathing. My heart pounded as I lay still, straining to hear. The soft noise emanated from the living room. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight, casting light into the oppressive darkness. The air felt thick, charged with an unseen energy. I moved forward cautiously, the wooden floor creaking beneath each step. Reaching the doorway, I froze. The couch was empty, but the air shimmered like heat, rising from asphalt. A chill raced up my spine. My instincts screamed at me to turn back, but curiosity pushed me onward. With trembling hands, I flipped on the light, illuminating the room. Everything appeared normal. I exhaled slowly to dispel the growing dread and retreated to my bedroom. Just as I closed my eyes, a whisper pierced the silence.
Stay away.
I shot upright, but saw nothing. The next day, determined to uncover the truth, I dug into the apartment's history. A quick online search revealed that a woman had lived there years ago, a hermit who had mysteriously vanished. A sense of foreboding settled over me as I connected the dots. Had I intruded on her space? That night, I set up my phone to record audio as I slept, seeking evidence of whatever haunted me. As I succumbed to sleep, I felt it again, the oppressive weight of a presence pressing down on me. Morning came, and with trembling hands, I listened to the recordings. At first, there was nothing, but around 3 a.m., a chilling voice broke the silence.
I'm still here.
My breath caught. I played it back, disbelief washing over me. Then came another whisper.
You're not alone.
Panic surged through me. This was no figment of my imagination. I had to leave. Desperation filled my every move as I packed. The air turned icy, and I felt a cold hand brush against my shoulder. Moving into my old house felt like stepping back in time. The creaky floorboards and peeling wallpaper exuded a charm I couldn't resist. But it wasn't long before I noticed something strange, a faint whispering that seemed to seep through the walls, particularly at night when silence reigned. At first, I dismissed it as the house settling, but as days turned into weeks, the whispers grew more distinct. They sounded like urgent, hushed conversations, yet I could never make out the words. Curiosity gnawed at me as I drew closer to the walls, the voices becoming more pronounced, almost as if they were beckoning me to listen. Driven by intrigue, I decided to record the sounds with my phone. Each night I sat in the living room, straining to catch snippets of dialogue. But when I played back the recordings, all I heard were static and muffled noises. Frustration mounted, and I began to wonder if I was losing my mind. One evening, I invited a few friends over for dinner. Amidst the laughter and reminiscing, the whispers grew louder, weaving into our conversations. "Can you hear that?" I asked, half joking. They exchanged glances, shrugging it off as the wind outside. I felt a strange relief that I wasn't alone in my madness. But no one else seemed disturbed. Determined to uncover the source, I spent hours investigating. I tapped on walls, searching for hidden cavities or loose boards. My neighbors were friendly but elusive, and when I casually mentioned the whispers, they laughed it off. Yet I caught a flicker of concern in their eyes. The next night, armed with a flashlight, I crept down to the basement. The air was damp and musty, thick with the scent of mold. Following the sound, I ventured deeper into the shadows, my heart pounding in my chest. Suddenly, I stopped. The whispering was clearer now, not a conversation but a single voice, low and steady. "Get out!" Chills raced down my spine. This wasn't a plea, it was a warning. Panic surged within me as I bolted upstairs, slamming the basement door behind me. In that instant, the whispering ceased, leaving an eerie silence in its wake. I packed my belongings that night, casting a final glance at the house as I left. The whispers had stopped, but I knew they lingered, lurking just beyond perception. It felt as though I was meant to hear them, that the walls held secrets I wasn't ready to uncover. Heart racing, I walked away, knowing some stories are better left untold. I stumbled upon an old camera at a garage sale, its leather case cracked and worn. The seller casually mentioned it once belonged to a local photographer who had mysteriously vanished years ago. Intrigued, I purchased it, eager to capture my new life through its vintage lens. Initially, everything seemed fine. I snapped photos of vibrant sunsets, friends laughing in the park, and the intimate quiet moments in my apartment. But when I developed the first roll of film, something unsettling caught my eye. In each photo, there was a shadowy figure lurking in the background, always slightly out of focus. At first, I brushed it off as accidental blurring, but the figure had a distinct shape, tall, with an oddly elongated head. My friends teased me about my new ghostly sidekick, but I couldn't shake the feeling of unease. Determined to understand the mystery, I continued photographing, hoping to capture the figure more clearly. With each roll of film, the shadow reappeared, always in different locations, yet consistently following me. One evening, I hosted a small gathering with friends, thinking their presence might dispel the eerie feeling. We laughed and chatted, and I decided to capture the moment with my camera. The flash illuminated the room, capturing our joy. The next day, as I developed the photos, my heart sank. The shadow was closer than ever, almost hovering over my friend's shoulders. Panic set in. The camera consumed my thoughts, and I became convinced it was connected to the photographer's disappearance. I dove into researching his life, uncovering articles that spoke of his immense talent, but also hinted at a dark obsession with capturing the perfect shot. Rumors suggested he had lost touch with reality, consumed by his work before vanishing without a trace. One night, determined to confront whatever was haunting me, I set the camera on a tripod in my dim living room. I took a series of photos, desperate to understand the truth. Each flash revealed nothing but darkness. Yet, I persisted. Finally, as the last photo flashed, the lens briefly fogged over. When it cleared, I gasped. The figure stood directly in front of the camera, its features sharp and unmistakable. It was me, my face contorted in a silent scream, eyes wide with terror. At that moment, I understood the photographer hadn't merely captured moments. He had trapped something. I dropped the camera, heart pounding, and fled my apartment, leaving everything behind. The camera lay abandoned on the floor, the last photo forever haunting me, a warning etched into my memory. I never looked back, but the image remains, a reminder that some moments should never be captured. I've always found comfort in my bathroom mirror, a simple yet elegant antique piece, framed in ornate gold. It was a silent witness to my daily rituals, a constant in an unpredictable world. But recently, its presence had taken on a sinister edge, transforming from reassuring to unsettling. It began with subtle disturbances, a flicker here, a fleeting shadow there, catching my eye as I went about my routine. At first, I attributed these oddities to stress and exhaustion, but deep down, a nagging feeling told me something was amiss. One restless night, unable to quell the anxiety that gripped my chest, I resolved to confront my fears head on. I stood before the mirror, locking eyes with my reflection. "It's just a mirror," I muttered, attempting to convince myself. Yet as I stared deeper, the air seemed to shift, charged with an unspoken tension. The reflection wavered as if struggling to unveil something hidden beneath the surface. Summoning a surge of courage, I leaned closer, searching for any signs of distortion. And then I saw it, a dark shape lurking behind me, just beyond the edge of sight. My heart pounded as I spun around, only to find the bathroom empty, bathed in the soft glow of the overhead light. I exhaled, trying to dismiss the dread clinging to my skin, but the sensation of unseen eyes lingered. Determined to uncover the truth, I set up my phone to record my nightly routine, hoping to capture whatever haunted me. With the camera rolling, I began to wash my face, stealing glances at the mirror. For a heartbeat, I thought I glimpsed a figure standing behind me. But when I turned, nothing, just the familiar emptiness of my small apartment. Reviewing the footage sent a chill cascading down my spine. There it was, the figure, unmistakable, a dark silhouette inching closer with each passing second. Panic surged through me as the realization hit. This was no figment of my imagination. It was all too real. Desperate for answers, I scoured the internet for stories of mirrors and reflections, hoping to find a clue. That's when I stumbled upon accounts of strange occurrences in homes like mine. People vanishing last seen before their mirrors. My breath caught as I read, the eerie tales mirroring my own experiences. That night I faced the mirror once more, my heart pounding in my chest. "Who are you?" I whispered, desperation lacing my voice. The figure reappeared, its features clarifying into a chillingly familiar face. My own, twisted into a malevolent grin. Horrified, I stumbled back, knocking over a bottle of shampoo. The glass shattered, an echoing confirmation of the truth. This wasn't a mere reflection, it was a warning, a manifestation of the darkness lurking within me. I fled the bathroom, leaving the shards behind, knowing I needed to escape not just the room, but the sinister presence in my mind.